On the 2nd of May 2021, I published a video where I showed you how to invest into Easy Equities. I made a quick course on how you can use the platform, but I was only 17 years old. Now an update has been long overdue, so in this video I'm going to show you how you can invest into Easy Equities and all of its stocks. I know the video has just started, but if you want to stick around for more Easy Equities content and know what I invest in, what I suggest you invest in based on your income, based on your investment goals, then please do subscribe to this channel because that is exactly what I'll be teaching you in the next couple of videos. But let's get right into the long overdue update of how to invest in Easy Equities. Okay, so first things first, you have to register if you haven't already. If you don't know how to do that, I will make a separate video about that. I'm not going to go into all the nitty-gritty stuff in this video. I'm just going to show you how to invest. So you need to register, and after that, obviously, you can log in. Alright, so after logging in, you should be met with this screen. So first, let's quickly look over the few things on here, and let me explain what each of them does. So account overview just allows you to see the performance of your investments and helps you track them. You can see all your holdings, your pending orders, your recent transactions. Pending orders are just like when you purchase a stock over the weekend when the stock market is closed, it will lay there until Monday morning when the stock market opens. That obviously varies for each account because the USD one will obviously not be the same times as the ZAR account. Okay, so here we have the different accounts. We have the Easy Equities ZAR, tax-free savings account, Easy Equities USD, Australian, retirement annuity, and if you don't have all of these, don't worry, you just click until you see the activate a new account type, then you click on it, then you choose the account you want to activate, click on that, and click on activate, and there you go. What's nice that they did is they gave us each a demo account for the ZAR and for the USD. On each of them you get 100k, 100k Rand on the demo ZAR and 100k USD on the demo USD one. Now let's quickly take a look at the Invest Now section. Now here you can select your investment. Now obviously I'm on the Easy Equities ZAR, and as you can see I don't have any funds to invest, and I also don't have any investments in here at the moment. But you can select from a bunch of different things. If you prefer equities or stocks, individual ones, you can click on equities and you can browse through all these sections. Let's say we would want to go to food and drug retailers. You would see all the stocks for that category. We all know Spar, ShopRite, Pick n Pay, and so on. Then if you quickly want to see how the stock is performing this month, you can just click on show all prices, and a quick overview of this month's performance should be shown. As we can see, Coop Agri and Pick n Pay Stores Limited is doing pretty well this month. Like I said, not going in depth into everything on today's video, but equities, ETFs, ETNs, crypto, unit trust, bonds, everything is so different, but I'll get into what each of them are and how the pros and cons affect your investment plan for each of these. Next up, just quickly, the side panel. Here is where you would do the deposits. I'll make separate videos on each of these, like I said, inter-account transfers and EasyFX. That's, let's say by accident you deposited money into your Easy Equities ZAR and you would want it to go over to tax-free savings account. Instead of withdrawing, sending it back to the bank, then again sending it to tax-free savings account, easy, just do an inter-account transfer. Withdrawals also on here, like I said, separate video. Most of these you don't need to worry about. If you do want to get your statements, this is where you would do it, under statements, new listings, invest now, sell, all of those. Just a quick tip, if you ever do want to withdraw your money, remember you have to actually sell your stock or investment before you can actually withdraw the money. Otherwise, when you click on withdrawal, you're just going to be met with a nice zero. You won't have any money in your account because all of that money will be in investments. Okay, and here on profile, you can update things like your tax information, your identity, your password, two-factor authentication, very important. By the way, this easy money is that something you get when you refer a friend. By the way, I'm going to refer you. If you haven't already signed up, You can click the link down in my description and you will get 50 Rand to start with. You can invest it into anything and watch it grow. But you can do the same thing when you refer and earn. This is Thrive. Recently, Easy Equities did start using a fee, but if you deposit every month and you don't take out more than you deposit, you don't have to pay for Easy Equities, which in my opinion is a bargain. That's the only way I would suggest you do it. There's a bunch of other options, but I'm not going to go into them because I think that is going to teach you discipline to invest each month. Even if you can't afford it, just invest 50 Rand and don't take anything more than that out. Okay, so what I recommend is you invest into your tax-free savings account first. Reason why I'm saying that is because this is the limits. In a tax-free savings account, you can invest 36,000 Rand per year into your tax-free savings account until you reach the limit of 500,000 Rand. Now, that investment is not going to grow and stop at 500,000 Rand. That just means your contribution is going to be limited to 500,000 in total in South Africa. This is a lot, and I think every South African should, at least before they start investing into individual stocks, first take advantage of this amazing tax advantage. Invest into the tax-free savings account. You won't regret it, because once you want to take your money out in the other stocks or in the USD or ZAR accounts, you're going to pay tax, capital gains tax. But if you do it in the tax-free savings account, no tax. All right, back on Easy Equities. This is my tax-free savings account at the moment. I started again from scratch last year. I started with zero and I put together more or less 1,000 Rand each month to invest into my tax-free savings account. I know it's not crazy amounts. I'm not going to be a billionaire before you, but this is growth and I like investing, so stick around for it. My current value for my account is just under 20K, but I'm going to show you today I saved up a couple of months investment. I think last month and this month I haven't invested the cash. I was actually waiting for a nice dip of the S&P 500. It never had a huge dip, but I'm going to show you the invest now option. You can see my watch list here, and I invest into the S&P 500 from Signia. Don't ask me why I chose them. It's just the one that I chose. The other holdings I have is the Global 1200. I think it's pretty good to diversify across the whole world. Obviously not as much as the S&P 500, but I still like to invest some into there. So you can either go here and click on buy more, or if you're a newcomer, you go to invest now. You can go to your ETFs and you can just search S&P 500. So you click S&P. And then it should pop up. You can choose any one of them. Do your own due diligence on which one is the best. I just chose this one because I liked it. Then you obviously first have to have deposited your funds. So if you have funds to invest, you can come over here to investment amount. So you can either select a number of shares, but to make it easier, just choose an amount. For me, I have 2,447 Rand to invest. I'm gonna do 2,000 into the S&P 500, and then the other 400 will go into the Global 1200. So here you can select either to buy at best available ask, so market order, or you can only buy at this price. I normally just go for the top one. It's easier. It's gonna be instant. So you can just click on buy at open. Obviously now I'm recording this at 6:40 p.m. So the markets have already closed. But if you do this during the day, let's say from 9 o'clock to just before 5, you should be fine. The order should go through straight away. So I'm just going to click on buy at open. And you'll get a nice certificate. If this was your first ever time investing, take a screenshot, share it on social media. I'll be proud of you. All the other investors will be proud of you. It's a great moment in history for you. Now, like I said previously, now you can go over to pending buy orders, which will mean that now you can see good till cancel. You can still cancel it if you accidentally invested into the wrong stock, which I don't think should ever happen. But if it did, there's your option. Once again, go to invest now, or let me go to account overview and show you how to invest again if you wanted to. So I'm going to do the remaining into this one, you can either click here and click on buy more. Then from there, you just type the amount you want to invest. Oh, I wish I could invest 4,000 into that one. So there we go, 400 into the global 1,200. Buy it open. There we go, another nice certificate from them. All right, now when you go to overview, you can manage and watch your investments under the all holdings tab. But mine are still under pending orders. Recent transactions just shows you the transaction history. If you ever want to sell, which I don't encourage unless you're going to retire or you definitely need it, this is how you would do it. You just click on sell and then you can choose the amount you want to sell. So let's say you want to sell 100% of your stock, you just select 100%. You only want to withdraw 5% of it, you click on 5 and they'll give you the amount. So you can either do amount or percentage. So I'm just going to, let's say, do 55. There is some disinvestment costs. It's very little gross sell amount, so that's what you get. And then after that, you would go to withdraw. If you do want to withdraw right away, you will have to pay a small settlement fee. Otherwise, you can just wait a few days and they will settle your cash for you. This is why I invest into the S&P 500 for those of you wondering. The S&P 500 this year has already returned 26%. That is crazy. It's been a great year. But on average, it gets around 10.5%. And when adjusted for inflation, it's around 6.6%. So if we take a look at a nice investment calculator, and let's say we would want to invest 1,000 Rand, the math is going to stay the same. Don't worry because there's a dollar sign. For, let's say, from my age, which is 21, so 44 years until retirement. And on average, you get 10.5% return. You want to compound it annually, additional contribution each month, 1,000. The end of each month or at the beginning of each month. I like to say beginning because I get my pay literally on the last day, which is fine. But anyway, then just calculate. And this is the end balance you will end up with if you invested into the S&P 500 starting today, same age as me, and you did 1,000 Rand a day. Because on average, that is what the S&P 500 returns. Now, I know it's not a guaranteed amount, but because of the track record of the S&P 500, we know history likes to repeat itself, and that's why the S&P 500 is one of the most, or let's rather say one of the safest options to invest in. The ETF I invest in is basically just, it tracks the index fund of the S&P 500. So it's not the same, an ETF is not an index fund, but it's going to give you the same results. You know what I mean? Something just very scary, but so super cool to show you. Let's say you started at the age of 18 and you invested same amount with the same period from 18 to 65 retirement age. Just check at the end balance jump 3 million just because of 4 years. That is insane. Because look how long it's going to take us to make our first million in the S&P 500. Okay, 23 years. It's going to take us 23 years to make our first million. And that's the power of compound interest. Because over time, your interest on that million is going to grow. So 10% on that first million is going to be 200,000 or just under that. And that's going to keep growing. So in the last 3 years, you'll make 1 million or 2 almost every single year. Look at how easy your second million is. Remember, the first one took 23 years. The second million is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. 7 years versus 23. That is mind-boggling. Your third million, even crazier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you have made another million. Then after that, it gets ridiculous. Like I said, last 3 years, 1 million each. Like, mind-blowing. But let's get back to the calculator. Let's say you have not started investing at 18. You should have, but you haven't. Let's say you started investing at 21 like me, and you found a company called Dragon Spirit Mining, and they have returned around 600% by the time you retire. That is, let's say, 12%. Just going, okay, not 444 years, just going from 10.5 to 12%, just a 1.5% jump in percentage each year is gonna net you so much more. Now let's say you go from 12 to 14, which might seem like, oh, who gets 14%? Guys, if you take a calculator and you just average it out, let's say 44 years times 14, that's 600%. There's companies doing this in 10 years. So you could get these results in 10 years if you invest into individual stocks. But the thing with the S&P 500 is it's gradual and it definitely works. But let's say we did get 14%. That's 30 million. That's insane. I want to see that's about 3 million in your last 3 years, each year. That is insane. That's the reason why you need to start now, as soon as possible. And if you feel like it's too late, it's not too late. Just invest. You will thank yourself. Let's say you're about to retire and you have no cooking clue what to do because you only have saved up, let's say, 500k, and you're about to retire. What do? You invest it until you actually retire, because that 500k can easily grow into large amounts. Let's say you have 3 years left until you retire and you're only at 500k. You're like, well, how am I going to live off this for the next 30 years or the next 20, 15 years? Just invest it. You never know what's going to happen. Like, this year is a good year. It's 26%. Let's say you get 26% because it's a good year. For 3 years, you don't invest into it anymore because, or you can still give 1,000 rand. For 3 years, 26%, your 500k is at least going to grow into 1 million. You see what I mean? Don't say no, it's too late. Just do it. Anyway, I have been telling you to invest for long enough now. I showed you the math. Now you need to make your own decision whether you want to or not. All the links down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.